Good, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Been a minute since the Melon report. Last week, I think that for the bi-weekly, that was supposed to be a Melon report, but I was in Colorado on vacation with the family. Welcome in, Caleb. Welcome in, Perry. Hope y'all doing well today. I've got a list of things, but also we have a special guest. Shout out to Chief Perry bringing himself and his community over here to kind of talk about community and content creation. So as far as the Melon report in general, we're making a little bit of a shift, and I'll kind of repeat this during the podcast. Look, I'm getting back into my old ways. 7 a.m. Well, this is better than 3 a.m. Caleb. It's better, it's better than the 3 a.m. it usually is. But we're making a slight change, at least into the frequency of the Melon report. So now we started off it being a bi-weekly pod. I keep saying podcast, a bi-weekly digest, a bi-weekly live stream. But I think we're going to move it to a weekly stream. And so the rhythm in which we're going to move is and I'm just, kind of showing you guys, being as transparent with you guys as I can. We're going to do a week that's mainly predominantly with Q&A and updates for that. And then the next week or the following week, we'll have a guest on. And honestly, welcome in, Dante. Honestly, the way I'm feeling, about the Melon report, I think the Melon report is something that we absolutely need. We actually keep around, and we do that every Friday. But I could throw another stream in there. We could do 2 a week, and it'll just be like me testing out things, trying to figure out Melon, trying to break Melon, kind of what Veronica does already. But then that gives you extra access to to not only me, but also to ask questions as far as things that you guys are trying. Because I got some things that I want to try with Melon to see, because I want to push it to its limits so we can make it a better app for you guys. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling about the Melon report and then these live streams in general. So just expect to see more of me. No, but I have so as requested by one of the members in our community, they wanted a way to directly contact me as far as like if they just had a one-off question, they really want to put it in the community. And I do have commands here, and I wonder if they only work on Twitch. Exclamation point community to join our Facebook community. Yeah, so it only works on Twitch. But yeah, it's I just again they wanted more access to me and actually like just one-off questions. So I have created a Twitter account. It's that Melon Mike on Twitter, as well as if you need to email me, shoot me a quick email. It is melonmike@melonapp.com. You can contact me there as well. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, like in the me news. But Colorado was great. In case any of you guys wanted to know, it was cold the last couple of days. My poor baby. We was at Garden of the Gods, right? And it started raining on us, and then it started sleeting, and we are like, I want to say 100 yards from the car when it just started coming down. It just started coming down, and this baby is in the stroller. He's 6 months at the time. He's 7 months now because I got to keep track of that. Welcome in, Chris, and he's just getting rained on, but he's kicking, but it's cold. So now we dealing with sick babies. Veronica knows this best. My babies stay sick. They stay sick. It's rotating. I'm doing my best to fight off these germs. But yeah, it's just a bunch of dadding and talking to people and feeling refreshed. Glad to be back. And I'm glad you guys are using the app and having fun with it as well. So how have y'all streams been going? Let me start there before I get into the nitty-gritty of things. Welcome in, Tilo. Welcome in, Average Gamer. Welcome in, Edmund. Stream's going well. Glad to hear that. Again, that's our guest, Chief. Haven't been live much over the past 2 weeks. Been busy with exam prep. So you did a pop-up stream, Caleb. It was a little short stream. How did that go for you? They've been really good, Tilo. Hopefully, we're back to streaming with Melon very soon. Hopefully, Caleb. Caleb has been one of our power users of the community. I actually had Caleb on the show as well. We did an interview, I want to say a month ago, close to it. But yeah, short ones are great. Short ones are great. And it's really, what's really interesting about the short little pop-up streams? It's like a little extra, like a little surprise for your community. And they pull up and obviously it's gonna be at a different time than you usually would stream. And then like the joy of people like, oh, you're on. I know that all too well. I know that all too well. But I'm like I said, Caleb, I'm glad you're recovering. I know me and Veronica were a little bit worried about you when you said you got the COVID, and just glad you're doing well. I know it's been probably close to a couple of weeks, 3 weeks since you had it. So honestly, one of the best feelings is having people come through after a period of time. Exactly. Me, yeah. You remember what we were talking about on Facebook? How it'd be cool to have decibel levels of audio. Melon, please add this. Makes so much sense. And I did pass that along. Radu, I did pass that along. So uh, it did not go unheard. It did not go unheard. We definitely on our list to add. Anyway, let me see here. Welcome in memes. Any headway for general sign-ins? So more than the original person who opened the account to gain access. Something good for co-hosts on the podcast. So for again, that's like that admin control. I think you was talking about last stream. Uh, so like them actually having like a moderator role or something to try to get in the account, not necessarily the owner of the account, but have access to the controls that the host does. Again, that is something that we're working on. I think we released a few things that I'm gonna go over today that kind of took priority over that, but it's definitely something that again we working on. I hate to keep saying that, but just like with the music, the addition of the background music, we definitely will deliver. Don't doubt that. So let's see. So let me get started because I don't want to hold up our guest here because our our guest pulled through for us. I'll tell you that. We had a cancellation of the original guest I had on, and I just hit him up and I was like, "Hey, you got some time?" And he was like, "I got you." So I appreciate him taking the time out of his day, out of whatever he had to going on today to come and share his voice and share his thoughts about content creation. But so let's get started on what we deployed. Welcome in, Marcin. Marcin's one of our developers as well. Uh, so the chat limit has increased from 50 to 150. So I'm assuming that's talking about character limit. Am I correct in that? What's up, Mitch? We get a soundboard to use for video feature to splice up for clips, memes, all those soundboard. Oh, okay. I do. I get that. I get that. I get that. That would be dope. That would be dope because for my personal stuff, I use all kinds of sound clips. I got all kinds of buttons that just do goofy sounds. So definitely something to make it feel more like like to give you the more the stream experience, like where you do have those goofy things. You do have those moments that deserve a sound effect, like a oh my god sound effect, or in my case when you get bots and I got gunshots. So get the bots out. So and we'll talk about that later too. Uh, let's see. So highlight, and as I was using the highlight chat improvements, now highlight messages, stay on the chat grid, plus gets pinned at the bottom. Used to only sit at the bottom here. So this here right here. So there we go. So now it stays within the chat over to you on your sidebar, and then I can scroll down and see it on my side here. And I will share my screen, but you guys are familiar with that. So but it used to just be sitting at the bottom rooted. And I think there was a little bit of complications with that, a little like a lack of understanding how that works. And so we kind of made it easier to understand and it didn't take it from the chat. And so yeah. Facebook page and group display limit from 100 to 200. Yikes. Okay. I'm about in the 50 groups. I would say this is why I say yikes. This is why I say yikes. 200? 200 groups? We we do have a lot we do have a lot of users that are in that many groups. I I'm just thinking about me personally, like my feed would be going off. I don't have the time. I don't have like I can't keep up with the few communities I'm a part of. I can't with 200 groups and you got to content in them. More power to y'all. But now for those of y'all who are in 675 groups, you can now have up to 200, not 600. So there you go. Let's see. Hello, I'm Anna from Spain. We talked some days ago on Twitter. I like the new versions of Melon so far. The reason I want to change to Melon, if you make some discount. So, like I said, I talked to I remember talking to you on Twitter. I'm that Melon Mike. No, I talked to you on Twitter. So, doing too much. Thank you, Boxer. Uh, so as far as like discounts and promos, we will announce those on the main Melon account. So Melon app, I think it's Melon app com on Twitter. And I think I can do I think I got this. If you're on I think it should. And if not that, you can have this here too. So that's our Willow app. Um, I just put that in there just for you guys to oh, okay, so it does show up on Facebook. So we'll announce that on our main Twitter account, like all our socials. You can find any promotions that we do, and I'll be sure, and especially because I know we've talked, I'll be sure to hit you up personally and let you know, okay, we got something going on. But again, transparency. Who's not doing Black Friday deals? I'm sure we have something going on Black Friday and for the holidays, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm not trying to put no pressure on our team, but I mean, you know, we gotta stay on our stuff. I got this. Let's see. What's going on, Harrison? Let's see. Um, LinkedIn pre-recorded streams are now available. So previously, obviously, it wasn't available for pre-recorded streams. Now you can do that. And what I'm talking about is when you go to schedule a stream now, you have two options. You can do a live broadcast or you could do a scheduled stream. LinkedIn wasn't a part of that. You can do that now. And again, if you're streaming to LinkedIn, just make sure that you are an approved streamer or you've done your paperwork to kind of stream on that app. Otherwise, and I think we addressed that, but it might be you might want to still check that out. And we have blogs referring to that within our blog section of our support on the Melon on melonapp.com. Date and time bug fixed on scheduled streams. So a while back, we had this weird error that it would not adjust to daylight saving times, especially in the European region. And I don't know if this is specifically addressing that, but I do know that I did report that a while back, and we got that fixed. So, and obviously with daylight saving time in states going on right now, we we got to make sure that's corrected there. My brain just blue screen right now because I was looking at all these hands in the chat that Caleb put. I blue screen. I'm like, are those hands or feet? But they're hands. The hands, they definitely hands. So pop up after the stream has ended, where users can navigate to the recording page right away. So after you end your stream, even when I end my stream on the Melon account, you get you get an option to do a survey, tell us how you felt, and then you get a link to the stream as well. So now you have the option to go straight to your settings, straight to past broadcast, and you got to give it some time to load up into the cloud. But then after that, you can download the stream and then you can work on it and edit that, like I do for the Melon reports. Just add them to add them to a video editing software, make some clips, and there you go. You get your quick videos on YouTube and on social media as well. And then outside of that, we did some different mobile and desktop polishes as well. So that's what I have for you as far as deploys. And again, as Meme said, just reading the patch notes. I don't know why I read it like that. Probably because I know Memes and that's how he sounds. But yeah, that's all we got as far as welcome in, Tam. But that's as far as we got right now. Is there anything else outside of the decibels, outside of like mod host controls? And here we go, chat overlay. That's what I was about to ask. Outside of those, uh, is there a possibility to add chat overlay to see all comments at the same time on the screen, like the option to show outside of you or above the webcam? So we've gotten this question in the past, and because because we have different Streamlabs widgets within Melon that you can use, I don't see why that isn't a possibility in the future to have it. Since I have a chat box widget to add to it now, but is it possible? I'm gonna go on the limb and say yes. I just don't know when it would come to the app. Is what I'm saying. But it has been requested. It has been so. So you're not the first one. Is what I'm getting at. Let's see. Time zones are wild places. My parents live in Mexico, and their state changes daylight saving times like a month earlier than a month later. Okay, so I was talking to somebody, and they like were thrown for a super loop. They were super on tilt because it was a month ago that they said, "Oh, what's daylight saving times?" Oh no, my grandpa was lying to me. Like, okay, that makes sense. That makes a little bit more sense. All right. I was like, no, that's a month from now. Okay. So, but yeah, outside of that, again, like I said, my son just did a flip off the couch. It sounded like, sorry, y'all. I just heard a big bang. So, big bang and so that sounds like that sounds like them kids is up there playing. That immediate, like you hear the bang, and then you gotta wait for the like the. Is he okay? But my sister's up there, so watching them for that. But so what I'm gonna do now, so now that we got through all that, I'm gonna bring our guest on. Our guest is Chief Perry, streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/Chief Perry. And I'm just gonna bring him in now. I'm gonna put on these big honking headphones. And the reason I put these on is because I can't hear him otherwise. So y'all excuse this kid is FIFA phone up there. Sorry, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna bring him up. I'm gonna bring him on the screen, and y'all enjoy. Yeah, man. How you doing?
Doing good. How about you, Mike? How are you doing, man?
Yeah. Welcome in, Perry. So Chief Perry, I met on Twitch about a year and a half ago. Yeah, close to a year and a half, almost 2 years. I met him, and really good dude, really solid dude. As you could tell, pulled up. I said, hey, I had a guest cancel on me. I got 2 hours. Can you make it? And he pulled through. So shout out to him. So I'll give him an opportunity to kind of share who he is and what he does and the content he kind of creates. So floor is yours.
I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you guys again, everybody who came and stopped by, no matter what platform you were on. I appreciate you. And again, my name is Chief Perry. My name is also Paris. You guys can call me either or. But as far as for my content, as far as what I make on Twitch, normally, of course, as many people know, I do some gaming on there. So, any kind of games that you guys have ever been into, all kinds of variety. But at the same time, we do, also just chatting streams. We do a whole lot of different things. We've been coming up with different series and different all kinds of things just for the viewers to be interactive and to make sure everybody has a good time. So yeah, as far as like what I do, there's a whole bunch. So it first started with gaming, and then after that, it just all evolved to a whole bunch of different types of stuff with many different. Can't even tell you. So many things, man. It's a lot.
So what got you started on Twitch? Like, what was like your motivating factor to like hit the live button?
So I started off with YouTube. YouTube was my main platform for when I did content creation. I was mostly into recording videos, editing them, and used to have a graveyard job. So as far as with that, being able to edit, everything just worked out. So I first started with YouTube, posting videos 3 or 4 days a week. We was going in there. Afterwards, I went to college, took some time away from YouTube, of course, focusing on schoolwork and everything. As things started to get more easier and, life on the outside, was able to get my own spot around junior year. That's when I started to really get into Twitch. I always knew about Twitch for about a couple of years, like when I got into college and whatnot, watching streams, but never really thought about going live until around that time. And then I also thought this would be better as well because with YouTube, you have to record the video. Then after that, you have to take more time to edit. So I always thought that it was easier on that. So
would you say
go ahead.
Would you say the pandemic kind of influenced you a little bit more?
Definitely, for sure. It was one of those things that definitely made me push forward. I was always into the streams and content creation because being that I started with YouTube, it definitely brought me back into, keep wanting to stay consistent, working on and stay updated. But after that, with the pandemic, and of course, having that fear of, going outside at times, sometimes, even still now for some people I know, but that definitely motivated me to keep it grinding and consistency moving.
So who are some content creators that you look up to? Like, who is like your inspiration to do like the things that you do?
Oh man. So one of the streams, for anybody who was on Twitch, there is a partner streamer. He just became ambassador, for anybody who knows about the different levels and stuff, like YouTube. His name is Sensei CJ. He's definitely one of the biggest inspirations. I figured out his channel about 6 months to a year after I started, with Twitch, getting into it. Not only is his production like anything other before than what you see on most streams, but not only that, it also kind of went along with the same aspect as far as the branding and the theme. I'm part Korean, so I kind of have like that Korean/Japanese type of thing whenever you come into the stream. And he also kind of has the same way. So the fact that not only he had the same thoughts and ideas, but also just with his streams and how interactive he is, how he is as a person, definitely a big inspiration. For sure.
Yeah, and I've been to Sensei CJ streams. I think we've been in there together, laughing, enjoying ourselves.
Right.
Now, one thing that I think we both are well aware of with Sensei CJ's streams is his community.
Yes.
Now, as far as like, I know you call your community the Noble Tribe, and we have the Ascension Alliance as well. So, what was the motivations behind, first of all, naming it the Noble Tribe, and then like what are, I guess, like what are your things that you look for as far as building the community?
Of course, definitely. So first off, whenever somebody comes to a stream, I definitely want to be sure that it is most likely interactive, not just for anybody, because of course there are a lot of streams where you can come in, you can chat with them, and you can just basically watch them have conversation. But I wanted to, of course, be unique, add some more ideas and whatnot. So with all the different types of Twitch features, as far as like, with the currency, how people can earn points, they have the channel point redemptions as well. So just kind of trying to go out of the box, and then with all the other different types of programs that are also attached to make it better. That's just kind of where the updates went, really. I just want to make sure everybody is interactive, and not only just for the guys watching, but there are also other things to make sure that, it's not just the game or, whatever is on the background. That's the main thing, to have other people. And then when it came to the tribe, honestly, again, going off of the Korean nationality, going off, I did, I'm not even going to lie to you. There were times where I had to try to get ideas, and I was on Google. I was typing. I was like, let me look up some synonyms. No, but no, honestly, right, exactly. But doing some more research, doing some more, getting some more knowledge about everything. I learned that, back in the ancient times, with Korea and stuff like that, they had because whenever you think of tribes, for me, you think of like the Indian culture, you think of the Indian nationality, but they have tribes for all different types. So I just thought it would be cool, again, because you don't really hear the tribe with like the Korean nature. So again, just all with the uniqueness and the ideas on the outside. So yeah, that's how it got about.
That's dope, man. And like I said,
The whole,
like I would say, like a lot of content creators, including I would include you in this. Like, the thing about Twitch is like you have to stay so relevant.
yes.
You have to have everything like clean and pristine. And I know people say, well, you don't have to do this. You can have like a potato computer and you could just have like some AirPods or something like it. Like, yeah, you can have all that, but you got to keep people in there.
Right,
And
exactly.
so when you have things like your community and things like themes overall, I think I tell you the one thing that changed my life as far as like building a community and building some kind of concept of like things that I do on my personal stuff is that one of the viewers I had in my stream say, "Oh, so your stream has like lore," and so I'm like, "Oh, I'm about to build off that." Like,
yeah,
that type of thing. Like, I never even thought of it. Like, oh, this is like, because let's keep it funky. Like, a lot of people in our generation are big anime fans, and if they not, I mean, they're almost the outliers of this. So they're almost the outsiders for not liking anime. But
right.
that's another conversation. But it's just like having that story to go with it, and then having people feel like they're part of something bigger is like the biggest key. Because like I could come in, or we could come in and have no cam, but as long as people feel welcome, they're probably set.
Facts.
And so that's
exactly.
look at this emote. Oh my god. That's one of Perry's emails. I don't even open it.
We ain't gonna hide away from it at all. It's gonna go.
So I know you said you started with YouTube. And have you started dabbling back? Have you ever started going like making videos again? Like, what was the kind of thing that kind of kept you, like, took you away from making videos and more so on Twitch?
Yep. So it was actually funny because I've always had the discussion of getting back into YouTube for the past 2-3 months. When it comes to content creation, you always, it's, of course, you know, with all the different types of tips that you can get, you know, of course, everything is always pros and cons. Everything goes to whatever you would like. But when it comes to content creation, there are so many apps, TikTok, Twitter, everything that you guys can think of. I would always say definitely try to get your content out there. So that's one thing I've been trying to focus on, getting more content out, because I wanted to focus mainly on Twitch just because of the time that I had when I first started with school, and then after that doing all these tests and whatnot. So that's what the main focus was. But now that I have more time, I definitely wanted to get back into YouTube. I'll say last week I actually just recorded a YouTube video. So I'm like getting back into editing, getting the softwares after like 5-6 years. My brain is like this, trying to get everything back, but we're slowly going to try to get back into it for sure. Slowly but sure.
Yeah. And the thing about like content creation is like you choose one as your main, and then everything else is like, it feels tedious. So like if you mainly stream, you got to make TikTok content. You got to you got to make Twitter posts. You got to post on Facebook. You got to post on Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. You would hope would generate traffic to your main piece, so your Twitch. But it, like I would say, in most cases, it hardly ever does so. So you got to make sure that you're making content specifically for these platforms, so that you can grow on these platforms, with the possibility of it, you know, kind of circling back or you kind of trickling down.
Exactly.
But, like, one thing like that I think we both learned during this content creation process is like, once you find something and it stick, go whole hog. Whole hog. Jump on that and ride it till it fall off. Like, that's the thing that you got to do. Again, it's all about staying relevant in this content creation game, because things go by so fast, especially on Twitter. Twitter and TikTok. Imagine if Vine was still around. Imagine if Vine was still around. You got 6 seconds to be funny. Yes. You got 6 seconds to be entertained. You got 6 seconds to make somebody click that follow button. And I tell you, a lot of them people that are famous off TikTok now are still famous. I mean, excuse me, off of Vine are still famous. But,
facts.
You know, but other than that, let's see. What do you think is like your main motivation for streaming?
Oh man, main motivation is honestly, I've had many different types of motivations. Of course, you know, when I was younger, started around in high school, you know, I always wanted to have, you know, full-time content creation. Who wouldn't want to do that, especially for everybody who content creates now? So of course that was always That was always like the main goal, of course, as time goes by and, as we try to keep going through. But I would say one of the biggest motivation was not only when I first started streaming, I started meeting more people. I started meeting more streamers. That was definitely, one of the biggest things, because I used to just stream by myself. I used to just go live and would just hope that people would come in. That was my first thought. But then afterwards, I was like, you know what? There are so many different other types of streamers. So I started meeting other streamers, and, I started meeting other like-minded streamers at that. And then, once we started, showing love and creating bonds and actually having other people who do the same thing as you and having that same love, that was definitely a big motivation. And then going back to when I was talking about the full-time content creation, there was a moment in time, because with Twitch, you have certain boundaries to where you can make start getting revenue from Twitch. Yeah. So I would definitely say, as I was, putting in the work and trying to stay consistent, because of course, getting schedules in and stuff. When I got that first check from Twitch, I'm not even going, because it really sparked me to, not only was it motivation for me to like I did all of this work and I got to that point, you know what I mean? Like I actually succeeded with that, it kind of made me, get to there. But that was the biggest thing that really motivated me. And then after that, learning programs and meeting other people, building a community, other people, just like what you said, people see what you have on your stream and you're like, oh yeah, no, you need to do that. Keep doing that. It was kind of the same thing for me. And then it made me go just even more deeper into things, and time.
That first payout from Twitch hit something different, man. It was like, you get it. You're like, oh, they paying for this? Like, I do this in my sleep, dog. I do this all the time, and my wife hate it, but y'all love this? Oh, I'm coming down here where I get compliments, dog. But anyway, so Shay has a question. How do you get your ideas? And I'm assuming it's for your content.
Right. Oh man. Everything just kind of flows, building off of one idea and then kind of taking that idea and then going off of the next. So like, for example, it took me a while to get my branding of the Noble Tribe. It honestly took me about a year and some months, because my name used to be different for a good amount of time, about a year and 4 months. So that's when I really decided to change my branding with the Noble Tribe. Once I decided to change my branding, then from there, I was like, all right, you have your appearances. And of course, with Twitch, you have panels that you got to worry about, like offline screen starting. So all the little basic things that y'all see in normal streams. So it kind of made me get to, okay, how do I want my look to be? How do I want the colors to be? What do I want on there? That's where I got my look. After that, I figured out, oh, they have, currency, or like the points that you guys see on my stream. So, call it gold. After that, started coming with the ideas. If you get, if you guys do a sub, or if you guys do any kind of, so everything just bounced off one another. Basically, it's just all a bouncing boat. Honestly.
So, and let's kind of circle back to that. Like, so you did go through a brand change. I think you used to be Paris ENT, and then you went to Chief Perry. How stressful was that for you?
It was. Because of course, with changing your name, that took me about a week and a half, because I had that name in my mind. And I also wanted to have a name to where I wanted it to be consistent on all social medias. So, I went into I went into all of my settings on all of my accounts, Twitter, Instagram. I was like, okay, this is open. So I was like, all right, we got something. It was stressful though. It was to a point to where, are people going to still know who you are, after you change your name, or, because, there might have been some people who see a name and they're like, who in the,
right
going out there. But other than that, it was again, just going off of that topic of staying relevant. I changed my name. I was definitely making sure people were notified that I did, and letting them know that this isn't the end. We still going. But no, it was stressful in the
honestly, with my personal stuff, I'm thinking about going through a rebrand. I think we discussed this a little bit. I'm thinking about going through a rebrand, but I'm like, so much stuff is circled around the current theme that I have. I don't know if I want to do that. But Shay has another question here. So if you can describe your brand, how would you that to a new person?
Ooh, Shay, look, you know what? Shay always be coming through.
Look, Shay, come sit over here. Come
right.
Come on.
Oh man, how would I describe my brand? So I changed my about me, basically about your profile when people come on. I made it real short and sweet. I used to have a long thing, and as time goes by, and when you were talking about back when you were saying like when Vine was still live, you only got 6 seconds. Like people's attention span are quick. Like even if you did have Vine still open, like just imagine like from those years and how upgraded it would have been. Like people will swipe out of your video for 2-3 seconds.
They swiping
even with
now.
the 6 seconds. Right, bro.
Swiping now, your actual followers, your friends, and people that you love the most are doing this to your stuff. So just remember that they doing all of this to your stuff that you post every day that you put your heart into. Don't take it to heart. It's just they got some other kitty videos to get to.
Right, exactly. But yeah, just going off of that, basically, I just made my about me short and sweet just to get that attention span out there. I don't want people to see it and be like, oh Lord, and then just mouse wheel scrolling. But I would say my about me is basically unity and churlishness, the term that I put in there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Key and Peele. But no, basically, for unity, no matter what you classify as gender wise, you know what I'm saying? It does not matter who you classify as, it does not matter. You are welcome in the chat. Have a good time as long as you follow the rules. Of course, TOS, terms of service. We all good, and as long as we're here to have a good time. And then with the churlishness, with the many different additions to the stream, again, like with the currency, the point additions that I have, Mike, we got that, and then you also have, people be coming through with just so much support, so much love. We call it churlishness, basically. You don't have to do this, but you childish and petty, quote unquote. That's right. What, not the right definition, but just all the love. So I would say those 2 words.
Speaking of unity, and earlier I talked about getting bots out the chat. These like the past, I want to say 4-5 months, and it kind of slowed down now, but I don't want to jinx it. I'm gonna knock on wood.
Right up. I heard knocking on the head to work.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that would be something over on the Noble Tribe, but over here we not on wood.
Shout out to Mac. That's the only reason why I know that.
But speaking as far as community and keeping your community safe, that on Twitch we were dealing with like hate raids and follow botting and some really hateful, venomous, toxic things on Twitch as streamers, as content creators, and there was really we had no options or no tools to kind of deal with that.
Right.
Now we do. Now we do. However, it's like when you were going through that during that time, and I know I was there for some of it. I even helped out with some of it a little bit. Like, what was your thought process as far as like making sure to keep your community safe?
Definitely. So, very first, you guys already know Twitter. Twitter will let you know. That's one of my main social networks as far as keeping up with everybody, streamers and whatnot. So first day I saw it on streams. I also have Discord too. I'm in many streamers servers, so shout out to everybody as well who keeps all their communities on lock too. But thank you to Discord, thank you to Twitter. First day when I saw all everything happening, first off, let my community know. I have a separate channel for my mods that only my mods can access, so I can, if I need to talk to just them, I made sure that they knew as well. I made sure everybody knew, just to be sure that everybody was safe. After that, there were a couple of programs, like there's the program Commander Root that has been out for a little bit. That's very good on removing followers. One of the biggest things that was, they call it hate raids, where people with just malicious usernames to where they don't even have to say anything in chat. Their name just said it all. Right. They would come in and just do a whole bunch of follows, and with your alerts, you would just spam your alerts all through, just basically just getting your mood off and having the stream up. So just making sure I had all the different types of programs, Commander Root. There was one more I can't think of, but that's also another one too. But man, Seribot. Yep, exactly. Because I know that kind of came a little bit after the hate raids were happening, because I know he was still developing and stuff. And big shout out to Seri for that. But yes, Seribot also came through too. And then, last but not least, man, just making sure you have good mods. I have a shout out to all the mods. I appreciate you guys like no other. Friends and family, of course, blood family, who are mods as well. You already know they're gonna hold it down. You know what I mean? So making sure the mods were on check, making sure I had the right programs. You definitely just got that back up.
Seribot showed up in a big way, and
Yeah.
that bot was getting people up out instantly. As soon as they saw the follow, and I'm like that, beep, 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 get them out of here. Edmund asks, and I think this is a question for me: does Melon have any weapons for that type of stuff, or any kind of defenses for that type of stuff? So again, and we don't like to, we don't like to put it like right on the forefront. This Melon is a product of Streamlabs. So if you're familiar with Streamlabs and Streamlabs OBS, they did put out a tool to kind of help prevent some of this stuff as well. So and I could get you a link after the stream, Edmund, if you want to look into that. But yeah, there are some things that you could use to kind of keep your community safe from that outside of Melon. So Chocolate City Sim has a question. It's your second year of streaming. What would you like to accomplish this year? And do you have any milestones?
Oh man. So as far as I'm not even gonna lie to you. As far as milestones, how people have like those normal milestones, like a follower goal or a sub goal, different things like that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I haven't really focused on a mainframe of a milestone, like as far as getting to a certain number of subs. Honestly, my main milestone, and I feel like personally for me, it's been keeping me on my toes, making sure I'm still consistent, making sure I'm still streaming, is to just, again, number one, making sure I am consistent, but number two, just wanting to make sure that the community grows, of course, getting the channel more out there, a lot more streamers. And again, I'm on a stream team as well. So all of my teammates, I've been seeing a lot of them getting so many different opportunities from, like getting keys from games. So that way they can, showcase, advertise, put it out there. So I would definitely say one of the biggest things for me is just, I wouldn't even say a sponsorship either, because that can kind of get out of the way, but just want to get my name out there. Again, get my content more out there, YouTube, social media, because you never know, a click on a video from somebody that can get you maybe a follow from somewhere else. So more content out there, and just making sure I stay consistent.
That in like to your point, like you never know who's in your stream. Like, I think us as streamers, we get so caught up in like the numbers or like the kind of people that are talking in chat. I think when you like just in the moment and doing your thing, I think that's when you're at your best, and when you can kind of negate all those thoughts of like, well, I'm not gonna meet this I'm not gonna meet this goal this season, or I'm not gonna meet like, what am I calling season? I'm not gonna meet this goal this stream, or I'm not gonna meet a certain follower goal. I'm not gonna get a sub count. Oh, my payout gonna be this, my payout gonna be that. Once you remove that from your mind, and I know it's hard for us because again, those some of those things are directly in regards to definitely correlated with growth. And I think we get those mixed up as far as like growth doesn't necessarily mean impact. So if you can like, and I've learned that just over this weekend, just some of the stuff I've been posting on social media, like on my personal stuff, just like that's just something I posted that, and that came straight from the heart, and people are just showing so much love for it. I'm seeing traction on different platforms for that, and even with with the Melon stuff, with the Melon mic stuff, that is helping this over here, which is big, and that's what's most important, because Melon might keep the lights on. But let's see. Welcome in, Blue. Let's see. So as far as let's take it to Melon for a little bit, unless somebody else has a question for you. And also, if you're out there in the chat, follow Chief Perry on Twitch at twitch.tv/Chief Perry.
I think so. I think that's it.
Yeah. Because I know when you change the name, I don't know if like, because on YouTube, when you change your username, it stays whatever it was previously, unless you.
Oh,
like,
does it?
Well, if you had one set up, like, so I had a YouTube channel set up to like a certain name that I had in high school, and then like I changed it to a new something, but it kept the old. And I'm like, oh man, Ill Monkey 7 does not exist anymore.
Right? People, who is this? People were hitting you up like, Mike.
Right?
Somebody change it. Right.
But so this is your first experience within the Melon app, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So would you say like it was real easy to get into? I felt like I didn't have to explain much to you.
No, honestly, it's very simple. I don't mean to compare it to other apps. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, do it. But I was gonna say, honestly, all you did was just send a link, clicked on it, put in my settings to be sure that it picked up my mic and my video, and it was really good. The one also thing too that I did want to bring up that I do like about Melon, that I did bring up, I have a DSLR camera. So I use this camera during my jobs, like in meetings and during trainings and stuff like that. So they would use Zoom, right? Mm-hmm. And then of course, I'll be in Discord sometimes with my camera on when I do collab streams and I'm in Discord. So the one thing that I did find with Melon is that it is I have a program, OBS Studio, that I use. I have to open up OBS Studio and turn on my virtual camera in order for me to have it work on Discord and Zoom.
What?
However, with Melon, that thing just, I don't even have OBS up right now. It just turns on. So it's that little thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like that little nick pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got to open OBS and do all this when it's just a little straight there. So honestly, with just that little thing and with how many times I turn on my camera in Discord, oh yeah, that was a lifesaver already. But no, I'm loving it. Easy.
And I think that was the main goal when we first started Melon. We wanted to be an entry level to OBS. So people who aren't really ready for Streamlabs OBS or OBS to just kind of get in and do their streams. And it was specifically targeted towards podcasters and people that do interviews, because that was during that time where podcasts were on a boom because we were going inside for the pandemic. So people were making podcasts, doing interviews, talking to each other all the time. I even made a podcast during that time. I'm like, yo, I got 4-5 podcasts I'm going. If I had Melon back then, man, I'd probably be taking off. But let's see. Can you use Melon instead of OBS? So it depends on what you want to do. It is if you are if you're doing like simple interviews, or like if you're doing simple interviews, or if you're doing like again like the podcast, like me and Perry are doing right now. So like when Perry does his little interviews, I didn't mean to. Excuse me.
No, you
when you do your little content,
you do the things that you do.
When you do your interviews, or when like the Ascension Alliance does their little get-togethers on Twitch, I think I would suggest using Melon for that. Mm-hmm. And basically because it's not that taxing on your computer. It uses a browser. It uses a browser rather than like using up your computer CPU. And you could just get people in again, like off a link, and just get it set up, and y'all can get in here pre-show, talk to each other, and do stuff like that. Westside Cool said Melon needs better stream overlays like Streamlabs Prime. So as far as like overlays are concerned, we do have the little stock ones, but you can make custom ones. But if you wanted us to like include some things like what you see in like Prime and stuff, so like you talking about like personalized, like different brands, like different colors and stuff like that, we could definitely look into. I don't know if adding Streamlabs Prime to Melon is the answer, but we could definitely look into something like maybe some kind of like a overlay creator kind of like thing. So maybe we look into that. Maybe that's a thing that we need to explore if that is something that you would like to see. So
if that was something that could happen, I think that'll be a game changer.
Yeah. Active stream overlays would be great. So you talking about like animated ones, like GIFs or videos and stuff. I think Perry, you use that for your streams. Like you use like a video background with like the soccer release falling down.
Right. The elegant nature. No, but yeah, for that one, it's honestly just a video with the way that it was made. But yes, I'm pretty sure, just like that. And then I'm pretty sure if he was also talking about like, just have like with the camera overlay and the game overlay and how they have animations on that. If he was talking about that too, yes, definitely. Yep. No.
Yeah. But going back to Chuck City Sims question, so you can definitely use it for like things like that. We getting there for gaming. We've been testing some stuff behind the scenes. We definitely want to attack that gaming market. The thing that really, honestly, I think the thing that's kind of like holding us back from like actually just streaming games is one, we can't detect the capture card, but you can, like, if you're doing like PC gaming, you can share the screen of your game and do it on here. I've tested it a couple times. I've tested it with Monster Hunter World, and that's a graphic intensive game.
Oh boy.
And it was a little choppiness, and I think that's because we have a hard limit on frame rate. But I think once we are able to raise that a little bit, we'll see better results in that regard. but like things like, let's say for instance, Guilty Gear, who's like, which is not, this is a fighting game that's like 2.5D, that's really not that crazy, smooth on this thing. So it's going to come down to like testing and kind of pushing Melon to his limits and kind of seeing what we can and can't do in that regard. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, you might see me pop up on here and try to just stress test Melon to do some things to see if we can get some of these new stuff going. Just trying to give our devs some information as far as like what they want to see or what you guys want to see and what you guys need from us. That's important. What you need from us. But let's see. Have a good one, Edmund. Thank you for stopping by. Shay had another one. What are some of your ideas for TwitchCon? I know you're excited for that. Ooh. TwitchCon. Will Melon be at TwitchCon? Who knows? Veronica, you gonna be at TwitchCon?
Wink, wink. Oh man, any ideas so far? I'm not gonna lie, because when we still have another year, but hey, the farther you plan your stuff, the easier things are going to be. Planes, tickets, all that stuff. So you already know we're definitely going to get into that. But I'm trying to meet as many people as possible. You already know. I'm trying to see who is all going. I'm trying to get y'all phone number type stuff. I'm trying to text y'all everywhere I go. But no, definitely a big thing. Want to meet a lot of great streamers. I definitely want to learn as well, because I need to. I keep thinking, because of course, like I don't really go to events that much. It's not because of personally, but of course, just life. You know what I'm saying? So that's always going to be a goal. But I'm always thinking that it's just a big event everybody's going to go through. Of course, they're probably going to have a stage and everybody's going to be talking. But like, I know for everybody who has been to TwitchCon, please let me know. But I know that they're probably going to have many different types of booths for different streamers and getting to talk to them, Q&A sessions. Maybe I'm trying to get as much knowledge as I can from many streamers and just also streamers that I look up to as well. Trying to find some good food places too. You know what I'm saying? We gotta eat.
Yeah.
You already know.
Definitely. What we got going on? Blue Satire said you can have my number, Perry.
Sure.
Fam. No, but San Diego. So we know TwitchCon has happened in San Diego. San Diego has good food places. Okay. What kind of food places?
Right.
If you don't mind me asking, because Melon Mike gonna be on that Melon side of things when I be in San Diego. I need that date. Oh my God. A lot of folks really go to that actual con a day or two and then rest of the days link up. Okay. So only go for a couple of days and use the rest of the time to kind of link up and network. That might be the wave. Yo, listen, I need a mod. If any of y'all willing to be a mod for Melon, I'm not gonna pay y'all, but it would be appreciated, because the thing that
I was about to say, I got you. No, I'm right here.
No, but that sounds smart though. Meet up for the first couple of days, do what you got to do within the con to actually get the experience, and then spend the rest of the time networking. And that's good if you're a business, if you're doing it for personal things, or whatever, man. It's like just solidifying those relationships.
I'm not even gonna lie to you too. There were some times where I was thinking about making business cards, and there were times where, like, there were some times where I was like,
I think you have business cards anyway. I think you just have them.
Exactly. Especially if you're trying to take this to the next level. You never know.
I think you should just have them anyway, just due to the fact that you never know who you're gonna run into.
Right.
You never know who you're gonna run into.
You never know.
I remember when I was in Tampa and I ran into Hulk Hogan on the streets.
Wow.
He didn't have nobody around him. I'm like,
oh my.
He didn't have nobody. Hulk Hogan. Nobody. Boy.
It was funny. It's funny because
2 years from that time, boy, we could have caught a Stone Cold Stunner, but that was before,
Right. It's funny. Mac met Hulk Hogan one time. I was jealous as a mug. I could have met Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. I remember I used to, man. He had the little feather boy coming out to what was that? Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. Oh my gosh. Let's see, because them hotels about to be full. Oh, okay, guys. He needs the exact date so he can reserve a hotel. Hulk was that dude, and then he wasn't. We're not gonna get into that. This is not a wrestling stream. But if I have Chris Panda on one day, which more likely will, it can be. Let's see. Oh, Kohlberg too. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you, man. Did you have any questions for us, or any questions about Melon, or about?
So the only thing, I mean, as far as how you're streaming right now, you don't have your regular streaming software up, right? Like you're streaming straight from the Melon app. Okay.
Straight from the browser.
Okay. Because right now I'm trying to, I'm not gonna lie, because as I'm looking at the app and looking at the display overlay and whatnot, I'm trying to think of, because I would like to include, the one thing I do like is how the messages pop up to kind of highlight that message that you're talking about. So I think that's a very cool feature. But with OBS Studio, they got all the extra fancy advanced, all that. So I thought it would be pretty cool, like if I would be able to add more things on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
You know how that worked, though. You know how OBS works. You gotta code that, man. You gotta put that Leon board in there.
Right. All the
I'm just clicking some. What Terrible Gaming 123 say? Is this Mari? Just click it. There it is. Bang. That's it. And then if they say if let's say for instance TG say something else, I could just update it. I could just double click on this over here and just update what he just said recently. That's like, it's just so simple, and I think that's what we wanted to do, because again, when we first released this, it was for podcasters and interviewers and pretty much the older crowd. So you'll see a lot of our community resides on Facebook, and so we know how Facebook is. We know the residents that reside on Facebook. And it's a little bit older crowd on Facebook, and we needed something that's easy for them to use and also able for them to make content as well. And I mean, when you make it easy enough for, like, I'll tell you one thing. When I go to look at the most recent streams, when I go start checking out people's streams on the Melon app, it's a lot of youngins on here, man. It's a lot of youngins playing Minecraft, Roblox, some browser-based stuff, but they all like 8, 9 years old. I'm probably blowing a spot up. I'm not the FBI. I'm not snitching. I'm just saying what I see. But what I'm saying is, if it's easy enough for them to use without complaining, without coming to support, then I think anybody can use it. You know what I mean? And that just speaks volumes, like, to the things that we're trying to create. And it's only going to get better, because we take all the input from the community, all the input from our users, and we try to put that back into the program so it could be the best program that we can make it, while also being easy to use. So that's all I got, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me. Always.
Hey, not a problem. And again,
you already know.
Thank you for showing up on such late notice. We'd love to have you on again at some point, but
of course.
I think that's all I got, y'all. Does anybody have any questions for me as far as Melon, or did anybody have any more questions for Chief Perry before I let him go?
And while the questions come in, I just want to say, to get my outro out there, thank you everybody again for stopping in for the stream, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting one other platform. I apologize.
Right now we're streaming to Facebook, Twitch, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook community, so Facebook group. We two places on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter directly. Hey,
if you guys are watching this stream, no matter what,
7 destinations. This all could be yours for the low. No,
everywhere. But no, yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in, not only from my community, from Mike's community, from Melon, everybody, man. Thank you guys. And again, Mike, thank you again for the opportunity to have me. I appreciate you and being able to ramble.
Everybody. Logo to the stream. Is there any way we can add more photo to customize overlay? So the logo / add a image to the stream, that was a happy accident. We didn't mean for that to happen, but since it was in there and it was working and it got it kind of solved the problem that we had, we kind of left it in there. But to expand on that, I could definitely bring it to them. I could bring it to their front door, because I'm right there. Hey, I'll bring it right to them.
Like the FBI.
Let's see. I love the multi-stream part. Is it simple to set up? It's it's as simple as just linking the account. That's it. You link the account, and then right before you go live, it'll ask you where do you want to stream to. Click. Go ahead. That's it. We just clicks away. You only got to type so much in there. You ain't got to do that. You don't have to code anything. It's so simple. We try to keep it as simple as possible. So, yeah, that's all I got for y'all. If y'all have any other questions for me, you can hit me up at melonmike at melonapp.com. That comes directly to me, to my email, and I'll answer your questions there. Or hit me up on Twitter at the Melon Mike, because Melon Mike was already taken. Melon Mike _ and 67 numbers was already taken. So not to sound presumptuous, but I'm the Melon Mike on Twitter. So go ahead and follow me on there. And of course, we'll be streaming here. Now we're going from bi-weekly to weekly. So next week we'll be streaming again here. And if I feel like I want to stress some stuff or try some things out, we'll do something in between there. So we'll keep on lookout for that. I'll keep you informed on our socials, on my Twitter account, on the Melon Twitter account, because I kind of look at both of those. But yeah, can it use the onboard? No. And that's because you can't put actual code into Melon. Melon is all browser based, so you can't actually put any external code into it. But I mean, it depends on, and if you look at like for allergic stuff, we have widgets for that, but not necessarily like the pop-up things. I know you just spend a lot of, and I'm familiar with tablet gaming as well, and I know you spend a lot of time setting that stuff in the onboard for your OBS. Not you can't do that with the Melon. Not quite yet. But again, we are open to changing if the community sees fit. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'll holler at y'all on the next Melon Report, if not sooner. But Perry, again, thank you for spending your time. Thank you for showing up last minute. And we just gonna get out of here.
All right. No problem at all, man.
Have a good weekend. Remember, Melon Mondays. On Mondays, put your favorite clip up from the previous week's streams, and we'll get it. We'll showcase it to the community, as well as on Saturdays. I gotta get the graphic done for that. Or no, let's move to Sunday. Sunday seems better. Sundays we're gonna do Sunday successes, where you tell us a win that you had from your stream, and we kind of discuss that. So that's all I got from y'all. And I said that 3 times now, but I'm getting out. So I can eat and find out if my son has a broken arm or not. But
hey, Caleb, thank you. That really means a lot. I appreciate you.
All right. Y'all have a good one. All right.